Welcome back to Zip's Tips Crypto. I am Zip and excited to bring you more crypto information and help build that long-term wealth mindset. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and hopefully by the end of this video, if you haven't already, you will subscribe as well. Now the markets are heating up a little bit, but we are still early in the game. We can see Bitcoin's at about 102,000 at the time of this video. XRP is at 254, about 7% up on the 24-hour. Cardano's looking good, Stellar. All the markets have heated up again and looking pretty good, but we know this is a long-term game and we have a long-term macro picture of what is going on. But I want you to understand how huge the future of crypto is going to be. And I'm not just talking about price here. The price will come absolutely when the regulations are aligned clearly, and then all of the institutions really start to pile in. And tokenization is one of the largest behemoths coming to blockchain. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, where you can own a piece of a skyscraper, part of a condo, trade stocks 24/7, or even have your life insurance policy all on the blockchain. That's the future of tokenization, and it's beginning right now. And today, we're diving into how crypto is reshaping investing, why the market is absolutely set to explode, and how you can position yourself for massive profits with patience and by being smart. So let's buckle up and let's get into this. So let's briefly cover what tokenization is in the beginning, just to catch some new folks up if you're not familiar with it. So tokenization is the process of turning real world tangible assets, say like stocks, real estate, even insurance contracts, into digital tokens on a blockchain. Think of it like owning a share of a company or property that you can trade instantly, anywhere, anytime, just like we do right now with our digital assets. It's a digital twin, basically, of what you see in the real world. That paper that used to be a stock is just going to be digitized and put on a blockchain that is immutable and can be traded, as I said, 24/7. Our current system is so old and it is all being modernized right before our eyes. But blockchains like Stellar, Ethereum, HBAR, and yep, even XRP are making this possible with speed, security, and full transparency. Now, this isn't just tech hype. It's a revolution that's breaking down barriers and making investing accessible to everyone. That's right, a level investment playing field. We've heard that stated numerous times as this technology is coming in and institutions are coming on board and the regulations are coming in to absolutely tell the institutions and the banks how they can use this technology. So let's talk about some of the heavy hitters that are driving this trend. And we know more are ready to jump in, and we hear the likes of BlackRock all the time. Now, major financial giants are already jumping in with SEC-backed projects, and that's what we're going to talk about here now, just to set the scene, so to speak. So we have Franklin Templeton, we know is using Stellar, is tokenizing U.S. treasuries on both Stellar and Avalanche, managing approximately $400 million worth of assets. All right. We also have Wisdom Tree, which is what? Tokenizing gold. Again, buying gold on the blockchain is becoming easier at a click of your thumb on your phone. You can buy fractions of a gold bar and it's backed up and insured. That is all being digitized and coming on chain. Who else do we have that we're familiar with? Hedera. We have Diamond Standard. Again, is tokenizing the diamond environment. That's $1.2 trillion worth of investment potential, liquidity that is coming on chain. Again, they have currently $50 million worth of assets currently trading on Hedera. And this is just the very, very beginning. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's multiple chains that are going to play in this environment. And that's why I like to diversify, but we'll get into that here in a minute. What else do we have going on? So we know that BlackRock has launched a tokenized fund called Builder on the Ethereum network. All right. As well as I believe they're on Polygon and Arbitrum now. But, you know, more and more of these assets, they're tokenizing and bringing funds to the masses that maybe before did not have access to this investment capability. We also have Honeybricks, which is tokenizing real estate. That's right. All of your real estate is going to be tokenized in the future. And Honeybricks is focusing on what? Multi-family properties. And they're utilizing Polygon. But, you know, and you can get into the investment for as little of $1,000. So I'm just trying to present to you and showing you the capability of where things are going. And it's going to, as I talk about that flywheel effect, it's going to speed up tremendously more and more. Now listen to this. If you hadn't heard, Robinhood, again, another behemoth in the investing environment, is planning to tokenize over 8,000 US stocks for European investors on Solana and Arbitrum as well, potentially, again, revolutionizing and giving 24/7 trading capability for traditional company stocks. You know, these aren't small startups. These are industry leaders betting big on the future of tokenization. And you know what? You own the software stack or the crypto, the digital asset that is allowing all this. We own the rails. We are so early and so blessed and fortunate to be there. Now, again, with Robinhood, they're starting in Europe. Why? Because Europe has better regulation and guidance. And that's why I keep on saying we have to get the regulation through. We know that right now the Genius Act is stalled in Congress, which is absolutely ridiculous. And it's all just politics. But they're not going to be able to stop it, ladies and gentlemen. And as the US comes on board and that regulatory guidance is aligned, this is the future, and this is what we're going to see. Now, let's talk about the numbers. You know, the crypto market is already worth over $2 trillion. I think it's the market cap is what, at 3 trillion right now because of the ramp of liquidity that has come in. But tokenization, it is believed it could be over $10 trillion by 2030. That's only 4.5 years away. Why? Because it's unlocking trillions of illiquid assets such as real estate, private stocks, art, the silver, the gold that we're talking about that were previously out of reach. And Stellar alone expects $3 billion in tokenized real world assets by the end of 2025. And we went over their roadmap in the video the other day. They have partnerships again with Paxos and Ondo leading the charge. Again, it's going to be an interoperable world that we are going into. There is huge amounts of liquidity coming to the blockchain. So just think about it for a minute. Tokenization, that capability, that technology means lower costs, faster trades, global access to regions and individuals that once were not able to get their hands on these assets and these capabilities. It's like what the internet did for information, but the blockchain is doing that for money now in the financial environment and the assets that are inside of Wall Street and the physical assets that we see around the world. The financial and investment system is getting a huge technical facelift. And with the regulators like the SEC warming up the tokenization, we know that Hester Pierce has even called for on-chain stock issuance herself. So it's not any longer a what if, it's when. And today we see that at the SEC roundtable on tokenization, Hester talked about this.
Tokenization cannot reach its full potential without legal clarity. Issuers and transfer agents continue to be unsure about whether a crypto network can be the master security holder file or a component thereof for purposes of the Exchange Act's transfer agent's rules, and even where state law has expressly provided or contemplated the use of a crypto network in connection with the maintenance of securities ownership records. Further, the Commission's special purpose broker-dealer statement, which defines crypto asset security to encompass any security.
Again, she is talking about the regulatory guidance that is needed to absolutely open the doors for all this liquidity to come in. Now, here's the key. How can you cash in on this? How am I going to cash in on this? Well, we know that patience is absolutely the key. Okay, we have to let these markets mature. The tokenization market, the crypto market in itself is very, very young. And early adopters who hold for the long term often see the biggest rewards. So again, early conviction wins. Whichever blockchain asset, crypto project that you like, I am well diversified. But by getting in early, getting in now, or getting in 6 years ago, what does it allow? It allows more accumulation, and it costs us less because we're getting in earlier for maybe less money, but more of the digital asset. And that equates to it's going to provide more flexibility for a clearer exit strategy. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you have more of an asset, maybe you're able to, if you have to, sell off a little bit. Now, I've made previous videos to where that gave kind of a preview of what my intent is. I don't plan on selling all of my digital assets, but I may sell a little bit to put into my wealth system. And we can see here, this is XRP and Stellar as an example. If you had gotten in early, we've had so much time to accumulate. And now we're seeing XRP, obviously, its price is up a little bit more. So you can't get as much as what you could in the past. That's just the way the markets work. But continue to dollar cost average in. And the same thing for Stellar. You know, this snapshot was taken, you know, obviously today it's a little higher than what you're seeing here. But the point is the accumulation periods along the timeline. And we're seeing here also the market structures as far as the bull runs and then the bear markets. But that, in my opinion, is all getting ready to change as well, as we have all these institutions coming in and we have all this liquidity coming in. The markets are going to stabilize, and I don't believe in the future we're going to see the bull market and the bear markets in the intervals that we see them now. So you have to be flexible. So secondly, we want to be smart. So you have to do your own research. You know, look into platforms like Honeybricks for real estate as an example and see how they're tokenizing and what chains they're tokenizing with. But check to make sure that the company is compliant from a regulatory perspective and what they're doing. Are they waiting for regulation? Are they sitting on the sidelines with more liquidity ready to come in, but waiting for that regulation to come around them so that they know how to fully embrace this technology? And I'll continue to bring you the latest developments, but you have to do your own research as well. It's critical. And again, nothing I say is financial advice, but there are so many great projects and chains out there, and I try to give you a sampling of many of them, but you have to look at your environment and focus on your portfolio. And that is may include diversifying across digital assets. As an example, chains that are for finance, like XRP and Stellar, or chains that are supply chain, as an example, TradFi, as like XDC, VeChain, and spread your risk. That's how I do things anyhow. You have to choose how you want to invest in your portfolios. But that's why I like to diversify in real utility chains that have real world benefits. So again, just start small, learn the tech, and just stay updated. Continue to follow news on projects of like what Robinhood's doing on the European platform, because that pretty much gives us a window into what is coming here if you're in America or in Canada or wherever you may be in the world. That is the bigger picture. As other countries start to embrace it, everyone else is going to be jumping on and trying to keep up, because it is a competitive world. And as always, be very, very aware of scams. Stick to the platforms and the projects that are legit and they have strong company profiles, like Ripple. Ripple is a huge company and we know what they are made up of. And just be very, very careful. And if you're patient and you're strategic, you could turn a very modest investment into life-changing wealth as these markets start to mature and tokenization comes in. The future of investing is being tokenized, and it's coming very, very fast. From Wall Street giants like BlackRock, like we've shown you here, to innovators like Robinhood, the world's biggest players are building a new financial system, and it's going to be on the blockchains. This isn't just about crypto. It's about owning a piece of the future, whether it's a stock, property, or insurance policy. The crypto market is on track to redefine wealth creation, and you have a front row seat. So again, just stay patient and make smart moves. The opportunities are absolutely endless, and it's so exciting, and the profits could be astounding, and I believe will be. I am still looking at this year to be big. We're seeing the markets now start to mature a little bit with some liquidity, but I am still shooting for Q3, beginning of Q4, for things to absolutely just explode, because all the puzzle pieces that we've been putting together and all this content that I've been dropping will be coming together. So what do you think? Where do you see the digital asset space going? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. And again, thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone, and I do try to reply to all of your comments. And if you're excited about the future of crypto and tokenization, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, hit the like, and let's just get excited. And tell me again what projects you love and you're watching. And until next time, stay safe, keep that mindset on positive lock, and let's get wealthy together and spend time on the most beautiful beaches of the world. With that, Zip is out.